And so the world ended, in flood and flame, in storm and stone. First was Korenji, who is the earth and all things that grow upon it. He who nurtured all and lent his being to their purpose. He who cared for all life and all death, and to whom they were all the same. It was he who created life from his body, he who welcomed it back in death. He who turned the world from life to death, from winter to spring, from creation to destruction. It was he who had the longest patience, but whose anger was most terrible once it manifested. In cycle after cycle, he saw us struggle and learn, fail and rise again. He saw us remember and forget and start it all over. To him it was the same, until our last sin, that of breaking the cycle. Our refusal to accept that all things grow only to fail, are born only to die. Our arrogance in believing that we were the masters, that we had a right to decide that life can and should go on forever. Second was Sarsha, who is the water and all within. She who loved us and sustained us. She who provided, poured herself over each of us to lend us her life and her strength. She who felt nothing but love, and gave that love freely and equally to all that lived. It was through Sarsha's nourishment that life continued, that it saw reason to do more than live. We relished her love, but we tainted it by greed. Not realizing that such a wonder could be limitless, we placed limits upon it, declared some worthy and some not. Sarsha watched in agony as we took the love she had given and turned it into hate. When her brother turned against us, Sarsha grieved, but she saw that it was right. She would lend her strength to his anger. Third was Ayara, who is the fire and all things that burn. She who saw all and would lend her feelings to us. She who lent us her burning passion, who watched in awe as we shaped it to be our own. From passion we brewed joy and anger, desire and disgust, sympathy and cruelty. Ayara reveled in it all, each twist and turn, each act of selfishness or generosity. She was a force that could not be controlled, and yet we would try. We learned to tame her flames. We placed rules and boundaries to claim mastery over her passion, and for every spark she threw at us, we tried harder to stifle her. When her brother and sister broke our world, it was to Ayara nothing but another spark that would scorch the land and break all our constraints. She gladly lent her power. Fourth was Neo, who is the wind and the air. He who encouraged all and was entranced by their change. He who would watch, would shape, would grow with us. Never predictable, always in motion, Neo rejoiced in the new, the fresh, the strange, and where his attention wandered, his wind brought new ideas. It was he who gave us the will and motive to evolve and learn, and push the boundaries that life placed upon us. As his siblings raged, Neo saw that what happened now had never happened before, and from this moment on, all would change. So he lent his wind. The land roiled and trembled, it broke and shifted, hills crumbled, forest withered, and all upon the earth were thrown and displaced. The oceans boiled, the rivers froze, and Sarsha's tears fell as acid rain. Deserts were drowned, lakes dried up, and that which sustained us turned to poison. Mountains exploded, and wildfires scorched the wasted trees. The sky filled with fire and ash, and not a surface was left unscathed. Wind tore through the land, bringing fire, water, ash, and dust to where it could never go alone. It pulled and pushed and tore down what little remained of the ruins of our sins. For with nothing old to remember, only the new remains. Last was Ir, who is that which cannot be seen, but without which there would be nothing. They who was all and was not, who was beyond and within. They who had been first and they who was last, who saw reality as it were and as it could be. They looked upon their siblings with pride and purpose. They lent their power to gods and mortals, and in creation and destruction they were all that was there. Seeing this anger and the devastation it created, Ir took it and shaped the wall. They divided the world into 4, one piece for each of their angered siblings, and fettered by their own power, there they remained. For millennia or more, to a god it makes little difference, Ir restrained them. As they had created together and destroyed together, never had they been alone. Now, each with a world to shape anew, the 4 were calmed. Regius saw that this was but another cycle, one that even he saw completed for the first time. Sarsha saw that life was still strong and love had only grown more firm. Ayara saw that her fire had forged something new of the land and within the life upon it. Neo saw that change was upon them, and he welcomed it. They grew quiet. The rocks settled in peaks and valleys, the waters grew calm. The fire of passion returned to us, and the wind gently reminded us that the world was new and possibilities endless. And so the world began, with breath and blaze, with stream and soil.